It's time for our second final of today. It is our boys singles final between Germany and England. Please welcome to the stage, first of all, from Germany, Yorick Hofkens. Yorick's opponent, he is from England. Please welcome Jenson Walker.
So far, the English youth players have been totally dominant in the youth department at this WDF World Cup in Esbjerg. And this is the last final in the youth games. This is the boys singles final. It's between Jenson Walker from England and Yorick Hofkens from Germany. A match that I have been very much looking forward to, and I am sure that you have as well, Andrew.
Absolutely. You know, you've got in Hofkens, you've got the reigning Europe Youth Cup singles champion. Walker, you know, we saw on stage yesterday, won the boys pairs with Thomas Banks and was runner-up in the mixed pairs with Hannah Meek. These two are both very, very talented. Really, the pick of the field in the group stages in the knockouts. You know, Jenson, I think in his 7 matches, averaged over 80 in 6 of them, and the other one was a 79. Yorick had some higher peaks. You know, he had a 96 average and he had a 100 average. And yeah, I mean, these two are brilliant. Should be a really fast-paced game. And, you know, we've got kind of the Pro Tour format, you know, first to 6 legs, best of 11, which should give them both a real opportunity to kind of stretch their legs and show what they're capable of and play like they can.
It's funny that you say that, because I was just about to say, if these two players, they hit their A game, then this will be very much, well, you could compare it to a Pro Tour game. They are both capable of these high 80, even 90 averages. And as you just said, we have seen Yorick during this week with a 100 average. But Jenson with time on his hands here. That's why he went for the triple 16 on his second dart.
Yeah, down to 40 after 12 darts is young Jenson. Not quite sure about the bucket hat for his walk-on. He looked a little bit confused. But he's playing some good darts to start this game and takes the first leg in 14 darts. But yeah, it's, you know, it's an interesting thing, because I think this one could go all the way. I know I said that a couple of times yesterday, and we never did go all the way in any of the games. But if we do go all the way, it's a slightly different format here at the World Cup. So, you know, at the start of the game, rather than bulling up beforehand, they use the random feature on Dart Connect. So that determined that, you know, Jenson was going to go first. We get our first maximum of the final from Yorick Hofkens. You know, Jenson, that decided that Jenson went first. But if we get to 5 legs all, in that 11th and deciding leg, we then have a bull-up to decide who wins. To decide who throws first in that last leg.
Almost back-to-back 180s here from Yorick. And that is something I often miss in, well, I feel like I'm missing in the, well, watching darts. That is the bull-up. That is often one of the most important parts of the game. And most tournaments, the players will do that beforehand, even walking up on stage. So I cross my fingers. I hope we will see it in this match.
Yorick coming here for 106. Jenson absolutely right with him on 107. He won't take it out this time. Leaves himself 48 to come back, but Jenson's got a shot at this 107.
Well, he was aiming for single 7 there, so was not lucky to just hit a single 19. It could have easily have been a treble, really. And you feel like he can't afford to do that.
Sensible from Jenson opting to split, go single 10 and then double 2, but isn't able to find it. So Yorick's got 3 more at double 16. This is actually, it's not exactly the same, but, you know, we look back to the Europe Youth Cup earlier this year in Austria, really, really well run tournament by Dietmar Schumann and his team. In the boys singles final, it was Yorick against Thomas Banks of England, and Yorick won that one 6-3. But, you know, these guys know each other very well. They played each other at the Youth Cup in Austria, as I said, and, you know, these guys have also played against each other this week as well here in wonderful Esbjerg in Denmark. So these guys know each other well, and based on the way they've been playing, I suspect they're going to be playing each other a lot more in the years to come with the ability they've shown.
And it's very fitting that it's these two players in the final. So if you have a look at the overall average list in the youth games throughout the week, then Yorick Hofkens, he's number 1, and Jenson Walker number 2. Both players with around an 83 average, which is quite incredible considering that they have also been playing pairs and mixed pairs.
Yeah, slower start in this leg from Jenson. Yorick's very much stolen the darts, and the treble here would be big. Doesn't find it, but leaves himself on 160, with Jenson back on 226. Second 180 of the final. You notice Jenson's a lot more reserved than his England teammate Thomas Banks, who yesterday was Price-esque in his celebrations, whereas Jenson seems a lot more, you know, quiet and unassuming.
Well, you said that, but it's not like he doesn't have emotions.
No, he's very frustrated there. It's a loose dart from Hofkens, treble 8. Was looking for the treble 16. Doesn't opt to split this time. And he comes just inside with the third dart. So Yorick's got 3 darts at tops to break the Walker throw and lead 2-1 in this boys singles final. This is I think this is the 3rd medal of the tournament for Germany, after Yorick and Alexander Steinmetz picked up a medal in the boys pairs yesterday, and we saw Frank Bruns in the last quarter final yesterday, beating Markus Straub of Austria 5-2. Yeah, when I was on commentary with Jacques Newlat yesterday, we said whoever predicted the quarter final lineup for the men's tournament probably deserves to be lying under a palm tree somewhere. Because they would be a very wealthy person if you were able to predict that. But yeah, you know, Germany haven't run a WDF event in a few years now, and they do their, you know, they pick their team based on domestic ranking events. So, you know, Frank and Yorick, these guys have been playing those German ranking events, you know, and that's why they're in the team. You know, I know some people might have expected Leah Mandel-Lawrence to be in the team, or maybe Monique Lesmeister, who's been playing some really good stuff on the women's side in the WDF, but they don't play the domestic events, or they don't play enough of them to be in the team. 180 number 3 of the final. But Germany has still shown that they've got a strong team this week as well, and, you know, they've got experienced players on the women's side as well, like Irina Armstrong and Anna Velkom, who've played at a number of World Cups before, won medals at World Cups before. So it's been a good tournament for Germany, I would say.
Leaves 24, not what he wanted, but it's still a good leave.
It's a lovely double 16. It was a beautiful shot. Not what he wanted. If you could hit them like that when you're aiming for them, darts would be a very easy game.
That's kind of like when a football player makes, well, an own goal, and you think, wow, that was very well kicked.
Yeah, great finish, yeah. Yorick coming back here for a ton after some missed doubles from Jenson. Had a bit of a mess of that, 23. So Jenson comes back, looking for the immediate break back here on double 6. Now, will he opt to split? Probably not. And he busts. Almost a slow motion reaction there to realise he had gone in the wrong double. And Yorick punishes him. 77 in 2, another 20 dart leg for the young German. He now leads 3-1 in this final. And, you know, Jenson's played well in this game. He scored very well, those two 180s, but the doubles have been a bit loose. There have been a couple of loose darts, and there's been a little bit of frustration there. It will be interesting to see if he can respond in this leg because, you know, he's on throw. If he gets broken here, suddenly you're 4-1 down and you've got to break back twice to, you know, have a chance of winning this final.
But right now, there's no doubt that Yorick Hofkens seems like the big favorite for this final. And should he go on to win, then he wouldn't be the first German to win in the youth tournament at a WDF Cup in Denmark. I remember back in 2015, Nico Slund from Germany, he won in the Yorick Cup. A player that I expected a lot from, but who we haven't really heard too much about since then. So, Nico, if you're out there, then we hope to see you back. You did very well in Vejle when you won the Yorick Cup in 2015. But German darts has always delivered the past 10-15 years in the youth department. There are so many great players.
Yes, and we saw last year in the WDF circuit, we had the first ever Girls WDF World Championship. And Wiebke Riemann from Germany was part of that as well. So, you know, they've got good representation, and they'll have someone in the mix this year as well. Mats Theobald is in that final four for Lakeside, which will be obviously good to see. Jenson coming back here. We talked about responding. He's going to have 3 darts at tops. Can he take it out? He does first time. There we go. Imagine that will be a big confidence booster for the young man known as the Interceptor. Not sure where that came from, but it's quite clever. I don't think I can think of any other players called the Interceptor.
No, it's good. So far, Jenson with an 87 average. Yorick Hofkens back on 79. So I would say Jenson, based on the tournament so far, is playing a little bit above his average, while Yorick hasn't really been hitting the numbers that we would have expected from him.
No, but he's punished the misses that Jenson has had. And that's really why he's in the lead in this final. But he, you know, he's had a few loose starts of his own in the last leg when he was on 87. Bit of a mess taking that down. So, you know, I think both guys are feeling a little bit of pressure being on the stage. But both of them were there yesterday. So, you know, it's kind of what we're talking about in the girls' final as well, about experience of the stage. But, you know, today is a new day. You feel different. Yeah, you know, you had a later night last night. You know, it depends what you were doing. Obviously, you know, these are kids, so they didn't necessarily go to the pub or whatever, like some of us might have done after the finals yesterday. But, you know, we know how much this means to these guys. You see them with their medals and stuff.
Double top here. A very good effort. Now Jenson probably go for the bullseye. That leaves treble 19. Now 88 left. Leaves 68.
3 darts at tops for Yorick.
Double 5. And that gives Jenson a real opportunity here on the 68. Probably go for the conventional route. And triple 20, yeah, that leaves 8. Double 4. And that's clinical.
17 darts, and now we're level at 3 apiece here in this boys' final. And yeah, Jenson could have been potentially 4-1 down in this game, and now he's basically back on throw, and has got the chance now to actually move ahead in this final. So, good composure from, the young man, because looked with some of those misses early on that it could have thrown him off his stride, but he's hanging in there and he's playing well so far. But a poor start, just 31 from his first visit, is punished by Hofkens, who begins with a ton. No look, treble one. Don't think I've seen that one before.
But I think what we're seeing here is pretty much the story of the match so far, that you think now it's going one way, then you think it's going another way. At this point, well, Jenson equalizing, well, back on throw, now he's the favorite. But then again, Yorick has real opportunities to break back again.
Just finding a treble in every visit will put you under pressure.
And well thought out. If he had stayed at the single 20s, then he would have left 165, which of course you can't take out in free darts. So that's the reason for the 18s. And leaves 40 after 15 darts. Very good from the young Englishman.
Yeah, no big fish this time for Hofkens, but switches wonderfully, leaves himself on double 18. Well, he leaves himself on 36. He might go a different way, I don't know. But it certainly puts... rogue appearance of referee Nick Rolls there. That it puts pressure on this... Puts pressure on this tops for Jenson, not the 42. Inside on the 20, outside on the 10, and outside just with that third dart. Could momentum swing back the way of the German? And it does. First time, 16 dart leg. And just like you said, Daniel, when you think the match is going to zig, it zags, and the other way around. So now Yorick leads once again. Big expulsion of breath there. Now he's throwing to lead 5-3 in this boys' singles final, which, as a reminder, is the first to 6 legs.
And I think Jenson, I can't say it for sure, but it seems like he is saying to his team manager that he was put off by, perhaps it was the Dart Connect tablet on stage that was working weirdly or something like that. But these are the things that you will have to deal with.
Yeah.
No doubt it can be so irritating and it can upset you, but if it happens, then it's all about how do you react to it when it happens.
A fairly loose visit for Jenson there, which is a disappointment for him, I'm sure, because he'd started well in this leg. But yes, as you say, there are a lot of distractions, particularly when you're playing on stage and you're playing hopefully at the level that these guys obviously want to. There's going to be the crowd, and it might be just one thing. Someone may be opening a packet of crisps or something. If you hear that and you hear it rustling around, it's hard to get out of your head. There might be something to do with the marker or the lights or, whatever it is. I remember I had a conversation with Tony David, who won the Lakeside World Championship in 2002. And he said to me that the first time he came to Lakeside was a real challenge for him because he'd never been on a stage that was being televised before. Beautiful finish there, Hofkens, 2-darter, takes out 48, now leads 5-3. Jenson's got to win the next 3 to, keep his hopes of winning this title alive and keep England's hopes of a clean sweep of youth titles alive. But yeah, Tony said that he'd never really been on a televised stage before, and all the lights, it put him off, and he really struggled with, he felt like his eyes were glazing over and stuff. But what he did when he went home to Australia, he got the videotapes of Lakeside, And he basically built a replica Lakeside stage in his garage with the same light setup as Lakeside. Potentially even worse than, leveled it up or, even stronger. And every time he practiced at home, he practiced on that setup. So that when he came back the next year, he was like, I then know that, the stage can't put me off. I'm not going to be phased by the lights anymore. And he came back to Lakeside and he won the World Championship. So, that's always stuck with me because it was, he identified something that had bothered him. And it was something that he felt he could control and he could do something about. But, yeah. If the Dart Connect tablet's a little bit slow or whatever, then maybe you can't control that. But, that's even, you could start practicing with Dart Connect. You could get used to using the tablet or playing events that use the tablets and stuff rather than, the old-fashioned chalk or a pen and a whiteboard, All those things, I think players have so many resources now to level up their game. That's why we're seeing the standard is so high from the children. These guys are still at school and they're, performing at a very high level. And obviously they're going to hopefully, both of them, I'm sure, want to progress into top-level professionals. And they're certainly starting the right way. If you look at the history of a tournament like this, at the youth level, the players that have come through and gone on to achieve big things, these guys will be hoping to follow in their footsteps. Jenson looking to punch back here on 58. 2 darts at tops to make it 5-4. Inside both times. He'll hope that Hofkens can't take out this 1-3-2 for the match. What a way to win that would be.
We have seen Michael van Gerwen win the Premier League with a 1-3-2 finish. It's not going to happen here. But Jenson Walker to keep the match alive, 5-5. And that leaves 2-2.
You saw the exasperation on his face there. I think he thinks his chance to win has gone now. A loose start from Hofkens. He needs to... Will he go 14 and bull? Yep. Bull! Oh.
Yeah,
we saw Ben Robb do it last night for New Zealand, but not to be there for Hofkens.
Yeah, we did, but I think that was in the 25, so... Didn't do too much damage, really.
He finds it with the second dart, Jenson. A scrappy leg, that one in the end, but, you beat what's in front of you. It's 5-4 now, and Hofkens has got to throw for the match. Jenson wins this one. We get our first on-stage bull-off of the finals. I saw it on the floor when Peter Machin played Barry Van Peer in the men's singles, and I think it took them 7 goes to decide who would throw first in the last leg because it was 25-25, 25-25, bull, bull. And every time you thought, he's got it now, the other player would match them. And then in the end, it was decided because they both missed the bull on their last go, and it was who was closer. So, so I've seen it on the floor, which was good fun. I think it adds a little bit of drama, particularly when you've got people watching and stuff. So if we get it on the stage, I think we might get a fairly rowdy reception from both England and German fans.
And I fully understand, especially because of commercial reasons, the big TV stations can't have this bull up. As you said, sometimes this happens that it can take, in theory, 100 tries before you have a player who wins the bull up. But let's hope that we can see it here. These are great darts from Jenson Walker. Leaving 36.
That's a huge visit from him. Can Hofkens put any pressure on? He's stat on 184. No treble yet. Doesn't find one. So big window here for Jenson. 3 darts at double 18. Getting closer. Too close. Comes inside now. Can Hofkens take out the 126? Go for 19s. Yep. He finds a single.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a blocker.
Moves across closer to the treble, but doesn't find it. So Walker will be back for 18. Now, does he opt to split or does he go straight for the 999?
It looks like he's going straight for it.
Big dart this.
You can feel the tension up here, Andrew. I feel nervous as well.
Oh, we saw his face before we saw the board then, and I realised it hadn't gone in. So, yeah, 72 here for Hofkens, potentially for the title. 2 16s will leave him 1 dart tops. Quite a long way short in the end. Pulled that one a bit. Jenson getting a perhaps unexpected chance to try and finish this off. He has 4.
1 missed match start from Yorick Hofkens. And right now we can't say if he's gonna get another one. That will be decided during the next few minutes.
Now we get our pull up. 25 for Hofkens. Outside for Walker. So Hofkens has the throw for this deciding leg. Truth be told, the way this game has gone, I don't know that throwing first is actually a huge help. We've seen a number of breaks from both players, but you know, the momentum, we've talked about it swinging in this game, certainly feels like it's with Walker winning those last 2 legs, and that missed start from Hofkens. And a good, you know, both players started well in this leg. A ton for Hofkens and a 99 for Jenson Walker.
And you can't underestimate the pressure these 2 players are under right now. And also very impressive from Jenson. You saw Yorick Hofkens starting off with a ton. And that means that Jenson, he would have had to put in a treble in his first visit to feel like he was still in the leg. Oh, I think that was a huge miss from Yorick. He looked surprised that it went into the 25. I think he was actually aiming for the triple 20.
Really good start in this leg from Walker. He's on 164 after 9 with Hofkens back on 255, and that treble 1 won't help. No finish, so Walker's got 6 darts from 164 to make it a clean sweep of titles in the youth events for England. I don't know if that's ever been done before.
We will have to look into the history books.
If it has, I would
perhaps call Richard Ashdown and see if he knows.
Yes, if it has, you would assume it's probably the Dutch or the English, but Yorick does find treble with his last dart. On to 2 here. Can't find the treble, so he doesn't get a shot at the bull. Oh, he does that time. Some loose starts in this leg for Hofkens. I think the pressure starting to get to the young German a little bit. Here comes Walker, his first match darts. Championship darts, 3 darts at double 16. Second dart.
An incredible finish to an incredible final. Both players around the almost 80 average. A good final and very, very well deserved. Yorick Hofkens missed 1 match start, but still able to smile and congratulate his opponent.
Very emotional Jenson Walker. You saw after that double went in, there was a moment of disbelief, and then he pointed his fingers to the sky. So obviously that's a special win for him, and a great comeback. 5-3 down. He looked a little bit dead and buried in that final, but he rallied tremendously well. And that means from the 5 singles and pairs events in the youth at this World Cup in Esbjerg, England have won all 5. So obviously as an Englishman, I am tremendously proud of the work, you know, that the England team have done to bring this team here, and the performances of Yorick wins the bucket hat, so maybe he's the real winner. But you know, the work that, you know, Dave Duden and the England team have done, and the performances of Thomas, Jenson, Paige Pauling and Hannah Meek this week, they've done a tremendous job. Congratulations to them.
Very much so, and also congratulations to Yorick Hofkens on a great run to the final. I'm sure that this won't be the last we'll see of either him or Jenson Walker. I'm very excited to follow their careers and future from here on. But for now, we're going to have the prize ceremony in the boys' singles. So please stay tuned. And after that, we will be back with the next matches. And we will have the semi-finals of first the ladies, then the men's. And after that again, it will be the ladies' finals, the men's final, and then the finals in the 2 team events. So hang on, there's plenty of darts to watch still. But right now, it's the prize ceremony for the boys' singles.